welcome back to the channel. I need to talk about something. So I'm scrolling Twitter as as everyone does here and there. And I know people hate some programming languages more than others, and there's this one that people hate the most, and it's PHP. And that's fine. I don't care. People do hate stuff and they don't even know why. The thing is that I see a lot of basically very new developers who maybe haven't even written 5 lines of code. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. They think that learning PHP is just a bad thing. Why? Why? Is it gonna hurt you? I mean, nothing's gonna happen. You can just learn another language. Why do you care? Or because your college professor is teaching you, that's what he knows, and it's teaching you programming in PHP. Does that matter? No, it doesn't matter. The main thing is that you need to learn coding, and you shouldn't be caring about that. You know what you should care about? I'll show you what you should care about. This is what you should care about. This right here. So, Stack Overflow, Flappy Bird implemented in TypeScript Types. And you might be saying, what's that? I can write I can write Flappy Bird in TypeScript, right? No, that's not the same thing. Just read the title again. Flappy Bird implemented in TypeScript Types. TypeScript Types. Not in TypeScript, in TypeScript Types. And what's the difference? Let's just read the article and we will find out. So, the ultimate type level trickery. I wrote a 2D Flappy Bird game purely in TypeScript Types. So, right off the bat, if you take a look at this is, you see there's something fishy going on here that doesn't look like anything. Just don't worry about it. We're gonna read it. I don't know this. I didn't read it. I don't want to talk anymore. Let's just read it, okay? Yes, you heard that right. It's a game written entirely in TypeScript type annotations, which is, if you didn't know, are Turing complete. So how the hell am I running it on the browser and rendering the game in TypeScript types? The basic rundown is that I created a type level TypeScript runtime, allowing TypeScript types to be run outside of the TypeScript compiler language server. So see, that's what you should care about, not about PHP. Who cares about PHP? This is something. This is what you should care about, not about dumb language comparison stuff. Okay, so let me go into more detail. Okay, you can run the game here, that's fine. Now the actual type level TypeScript code for the game is surprisingly simple. First, you must understand that type level TypeScript is like purely functional programming language. A key tenet of pure and functional programming language is that state is immutable. So, that means that these states you can't really change. You can make changes to it. So instead of mutating some global game state, like bird position, the pipes, etc., we thread the game state through a series of functions which each return a new copy of the game state updated. Every frame the game does something like this. So here's the new game state. And to move pipes, apply gravity, handle jump game state. Okay, I find this elegantly beautiful. It's very clear to see the transformations that happen on a game state. The next tricky part is rendering the game. We need to draw the bird, the pipes, and the background. See, that's really hard to do with just only TypeScript types, right? That's not something you can do easily. Drawing inspiration from graphics APIs, I had the idea to give the game state a command buffer, an array of drawing commands. A draw command looks a bit like this. So, okay, so we have a type draw command. So, draw command kind image, string, number. Okay, so the X and Y coordinates, width and height, clear the screen type, draw command kind clear. Okay, so this is where so basically it makes a new command type, and this is what the command says to do. Okay. Now the task of rendering is really just filling the command buffer with the appropriate draw commands to display our game, which can be neatly done at the end of our game state transformations. Okay, so this is the draw function, but draw type, not really a function. Returns new game state with the draw command for this frame added. Okay, so wow, Type draw state extends game state equals state and draw commands, draw the background. Okay, so he uses the same, like basically the same annotation as here. Very, very, very good. And draw the bird. Okay, draw every pipes. Dash dash draw pipes. I don't fully understand all of it though. These are very like, you know, like it's just a little bit more complex types than I used to, but it's fine. We can make out of something of it. Iframe, the game state is updated, the command buffer is populated, and the runtime takes these draw commands and executes them. Okay, so he made a runtime, if I understand correctly, which can interpret these. Okay, that's the core game loop, obviously. Aha, so this is just basically, this is draw the background, draw the bird, draw every pipe. So this is basically, so he made up like a type, which is then interpreted and like it made it to work. What a genius. And that's how the core game, obviously I skipped over a lot of details, obviously. The rest is just mostly verbose TypeScript code for checking collisions of the bird on the pipe's ground, so you can check out the full game code here. I think you have it in. Okay. Okay, so everything is like in types, very interesting. I don't know if you can see it. 1 second, I can. It's not, it doesn't look that simple though, so it's not that simple because you can define values in types, and that's a great thing, but you can change them. So he needs to do some trickery with this to create like a different iteration of it. The runtime. So how does the runtime work? There are two main parts. The lambda x, the compiler written in Rust. What's that? There are two parts. The compiler written in Rust takes TypeScript source code and spits out bytecode. Okay, so he written a compiler in Rust, which takes this TypeScript code and just makes it takes it into bytecode. And there's a virtual machine which is written in Zig, a custom stack based virtual machine that runs the bytecode and evaluates types. That's just amazing. This makes the bytecode and this runs the bytecode. Wow. I've compiled the runtime to WebAssembly, so it takes the draw commands from the game and executes them using the Web Canvas API. Conceptually, the runtime could use any graphics backend like OpenGL. So he just, in this case, it's just WebAssembly, and because that was convenient, because that's like from the perspective of the web presentation, it's just good, very good. The VM has specialized instructions for computations that would otherwise be expensive in regular type-level TypeScript. A prominent group of such expensive computations are arithmetic operations. In type-level TypeScript, you can hack arithmetics by using arrays or template strings. Both are extremely expensive operations, especially in comparison to how trivial arithmetic is for the GPU to compute normally. Okay, I decided to provide a standard library which functions that can compile into specialized and very performant instructions in the virtual machine. Okay, so add sub, okay, less than or equal, compute the x Fibonacci number, then, okay, less than equal, extends, very interesting, so we can compile that into like functions. That's very interesting. We can actually grab a lot of cool optimizations from the implementation of FP languages. Perform immutable data structures, hash array map like trees, RRB trees, specialized reference counting with reuse, tail call optimization. Oh wow. So why is it gonna, okay, so this is not by accident. So this is not by accident. Okay, I thought that my browser had some sort of issue. Okay, so he uses that as anchors. All right. I'm not pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with the split of using Rust for the front end and Zig for the hardcore low-level implementation of the virtual machine. Rust is high-level and zero-cost abstractions make it well-suited for walking ASTs and generating bytecode with speed. Also, instead of writing another TypeScript parser, I get to leverage the TypeScript parser of the OX. I don't know what that is. OXC project. What's this? JavaScript Oxidation Compiler. So it parses that with this. Okay, the feature is TIVM, perform type checker. This type of TypeScript runtime started out as a type checker for TypeScript I called TIVM. The idea for using VM to exponentially speed up the type checking has been tried before. I decided to try my hand at it because I find this fun. I just find this stuff fun. See? I had the idea to focus on supporting only type over TypeScript first. My plan was that because of the simplicity of just type over TypeScript, we could nail down that aspect first before moving on to type checking the entirety of TypeScript. This would allow TIVM to be useful far more quickly. An example is that it could be used for TypeScript tooling. There are a lot of tools that convert TypeScript types to X, where X is something like GraphQL, Prisma schemas, JSON types, okay? But all of them are pretty limited by not being able to support complex TypeScript types. So yeah, when you want to convert them to something else, maybe to import, export, or whatever, to do that, they're just, you know, just you want to describe the describer, and it's not gonna work that simply. You can't. I mean, you can, but it's just very difficult. I could jump up a dream of making type-level TypeScript a very powerful DSL for writing schemas, for example. Export type user, ID name age, okay. Export type mutation, okay. Update user, and you say the ID fields partial and omit user ID. Wow. So it's like basically a just mutation, which is like is piped into like a promise. Very interesting. When we update user mutation, we can update any field from the user type except for its ID, of course, without TypeScript types. So that's what he means, that the fields you wanna add is just omit everything from the user. I mean omit the ID from the user. A user as a partial user type. Oh wow. I have to rewrite all the field types, and that can be an error prone if I change user, but forget to update the mutation arguments. Yes, that's very true. Okay, so this is just amazing to me. Amazing. I obviously follow the dude, so you should do that too. You need more of this in your life. And given that most of us may not understand most of what he does here, we must admire this work, because, you know, this is what coding is all about. And again, so do you have time to be a little child to make fun of someone using PHP or like bashing the language? Why don't you take your time and just admire work like that instead of doing that? I know you can have opinions about stuff, but don't just have an opinion because someone else has the same opinion. You know, you can say it's dumb to learn PHP if you don't even know what that is, you know. Yeah, I could say that this is dumb. I don't understand it, but I could say it's dumb, but it's not. This is something amazing. Probably not very super useful at this very moment, but you know, everything is good for something, and this is too. This is just amazing. Oh my god. And by that, this is the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.